If you've got knee pain and you were told that swimming is a great exercise to help it, before you get back in the pool, watch this video because I need to reveal the truth to you. If you don't know who I am, my name is Harlow and I'm the Over-Fifties specialist physio here at HT Physio in Farnham. And today I'm going to be revealing why swimming might be bad for your knees and what to do instead. Now, before I get accused of hating on swimming, I do actually love swimming as an exercise. I think it's a fantastic thing to do. But if you have a knee problem, there are some things you need to be aware of to make sure you're not doing yourself more harm than good. Now, the important thing to understand about knees is a normal functional knee has pretty much just two planes of movement. It's got flexion and it's got extension. Okay, so it bends and it straightens. Now, there is a little bit of rotation on the knee, but we try to minimize that as much as possible. Now, when we're swimming, depending on which stroke we do, some swimming strokes can put rotational force on the knee joint. And if you have a problem like a meniscus tear or knee arthritis or a ligament problem, if you do certain strokes, you're going to stress the knee by causing it to twist. So for example, breaststroke, even though it's a nice stroke to swim for most people, if you have a knee problem, breaststroke has lots of rotational force on your knee joint when you swim, which means it can stress existing problems. I've had people with meniscus tears and ligament injuries who have delayed their recovery because they've been getting in the pool thinking they were doing the right thing, swimming lots of breaststroke and making the problem worse, or at least stopping it from getting better. Now, on the other hand, if you swim front crawl, because it's just forward, back with the knee, it's flexion extension, you're probably not going to do much harm to your knee. So front crawl tends to be a much better stroke for people with knee problems than breaststroke. Now, if you say, well, I can't do front crawl, I can only do breaststroke, try doing breaststroke arms and front crawl kicking legs. Now, it can be a little bit difficult to get the coordination right, but that would be safer than swimming all out breaststroke. Now, if you said, yeah, I noticed that when I swim in the pool, my knee feels worse, don't worry, you can still get into the swimming pool because I'm going to show you some great alternatives that you can do in the pool other than swimming lengths to help your knee get better. So let's have a look at some of these exercises. These are all to be done in a pool. Remember, they're not suitable for everyone. And if your healthcare professional would tell you not to do them, then definitely listen to their advice. But let's have a look at some of these exercises now. So I'm going to show you some great alternatives to swimming that you can do in the pool. So we're going to imagine now that I'm in the swimming pool where it's nice and warm, which is great for the knees, and we've got the water probably coming up to about here. So I recommend most people with these exercises starts in water that doesn't come any higher than about the sternum level. So you want it around belly height really. And the reason we want this is because this amount of water here takes away about 50% of your body weight, which means you can do a lot more exercises in the pool than you could on land because it's less force going through the knee. So the first thing I'd recommend people do is they just try walking in the water at that kind of length or that kind of height of water here, okay? So they're walking against the pool water, and the great thing about this is it's a totally different exercise than walking on land. And the reason it's so different is because when you're walking on land, you're just moving against air, which doesn't have any resistive force. But when we're in water, there's a force moving against you all the time. So it actually uses different muscles. It uses more of the hips to drive you forward and more of the muscles in the calves to propel you against that water. And it's actually a much better strengthening movement than walking on land. So the first thing I'd recommend you do is stay at a consistent depth and just walk up and down in the pool. Now, before I show you the second thing, it's important to note that 88% of people who watch these videos have not yet subscribed to the channel. So if that's you, what are you doing? Subscribe to the channel, scroll down, hit the link, and then you'll be the first to hear about our new videos when they come out. Anyway, the second exercise I would do in the pool, again, similar sort of depth like this. You can hold on to the side of the pool and then you can do squats. And obviously that will just take you down to a depth of about chin. So you just go down to your chin like this in the water. And that will really help to strengthen the muscles that support the knees, so your quads. It will help to strengthen the muscles at the back of the hips as well, and it will loosen your knee joint because you're doing great exercise in the warm water. So once you've done a set of those, you can move on to some reverse lunges. So again, holding onto the side to begin with, and then step back into the pool and just sink back onto that leg at the back. Now, don't do these exercises if they're painful, so not all of these are going to be suitable for everyone, but for many people, if you couldn't do this on land, doing it in the pool, even in shallow water, is going to really help you to do the exercise without pain. So reverse lunges in the pool are a great way to build strength around the knee. Once you've done a set of those, you can move into some slightly deeper water and then start to work the hip. So what I would do for this is some hip abductions. So you keep your back straight, you rock onto your good leg, and then your bad leg is pushing out into the water like this, and obviously to come back into the middle, it's pulling in. So pushing against the water in both directions strengthens both the abductors and the adductors on the inside of the thigh. So this is one of my favorite exercises, not just to do in the water, but to do on land. And you would just keep doing these until you start to feel some fatigue in the muscles that you're trying to work there. Now, it's important with these to keep your back straight. The muscles that are working should be these, not the spinal muscles. And that advice goes for this next exercise too, which is called hip extensions. So with this one, it's a smaller movement. We're just going directly behind us. So pushing out into the water like that. So this is a great exercise to strengthen the glutes. Again, I'm just going to change position, but you'd have the pull side here just to put your arm on. And then you might want to do some kicks forward with the knee. This is a good exercise for the hip flexor. And then the other one is to push your whole leg forward like a straight leg raise, but doing it standing in the pool. Both of these movements are excellent for strengthening the muscles that support the knee. Now, the other thing you can do is you can put both your arms back onto the side of the pool and then just start kicking against the water. Obviously, I'm going to do this with one leg because otherwise I'd have to float, but kicking in the water like this with both legs is a great way to build up strength in the quads and the hamstrings. Now, the nice thing about these exercises is they don't involve that same rotational force at the knee that breaststroke does. And the reason breaststroke does cause that is because as we move our feet and our ankles in the water, it twists up into the knee. So none of these exercises do that. They're a much better way to rehabilitate yourself after a knee injury. I used to take the professional footballers that I work with into the pool after an injury and do similar exercises to this. And it's such a good way to speed up the recovery process after a knee injury. So that's why swimming might be harmful for your knees and what to do instead. I hope you found this video useful. If you have, please subscribe to the channel. And if you would like to hear a little bit more from me, you can grab a copy of my book. It's called Thriving Beyond 50 and you can find it on Amazon using the link below. It's got loads of tips and tricks and strategies for people who want to remain fit and mobile in their 50s and beyond. So find it on Amazon using the link below. Thank you so much for watching this video. I appreciate your time and I'll speak to you on the next one.